Welcome everyone here to Spielberg for another round of G14 Racing League action. We are here in Austria, in the mountains near Spielberg. We are here for the Austrian Grand Prix, which is round 4 here in the G14 Racing League. We are here on 4.3 kilometers of track with 10 corners. Sector 1 consists of only 2 corners. Technically 1 shouldn't really count, but it does. The first corner is a very sharp corner where drivers will need to look out for if they don't want to invalidate their lap times and also get penalties later in the race, especially at race start. We're definitely going to see some drivers going wide. Turn 2 is a small kink, which you can see the man making his way through now. A small left kink followed by a sharp right, which once again, some people definitely go wide on, especially in lap 1 and in qualifying if they make a mistake. Followed by turn 4, which once again is another tricky corner, which is once again sometimes difficult to get right as you make your way through it. Turn 5 is also a small kink, so that doesn't really talk about. Turn 6, once again, difficult to get right at times, and especially if you're on older tyres, which will most likely make you go wide. Turns 7 and 8 are a bit lighter, but if you get turn 7 wrong, you've got turn 8 wrong immediately, and followed by the 2 rights of turn 9 and 10, which can be pretty easy to get right, but sometimes you can go turn in a bit too early and you can invalidate. So to start things off, you've got Reserve, who's already invalidated his lap, but next to cross the line will be eventually Yummy, who is currently in the V-Cup today. Got the Ferrari of the man behind as Yummy makes his way into turn 3 right now in the V-Cup. V-Cup will have a new reserve driver, I last checked, in LJS. He is not driving today. Due to both V-Cup drivers being here today, the 2 Williams have JJ and I think a reserve. Mercedes, I think, have... Let me actually just quickly check. Has everyone got 2s in what team? So, if I could quickly pop over here. Right. So, for McLaren, you've got a McLaren driver in the reserve. Ferrari, we've got 2 drivers, the 2 main drivers. Then you've got the Red Bull driver in reserve. But let's quickly have a look at Yummy, who's going to make his way around turn 10. What will it be for the V-Car? It's a 105.563, which puts him currently on provisional pole. The man goes invalidated. However, tied is 1.3 seconds slower. Next across the line will be the Aston Martin of Gnome. He goes up into P2, 5/10 off current pole position holder. And he got the Swiggy going provisional pole in the Williams. And then the McLaren of C, I believe that is. He's going to cross the line. He jumps up to 5th. His teammate Riley, he'll cross the line. He jumps up to 5th as well, beating his teammate by 2 whole seconds. The Aston Martin of Gnome goes up into 3rd. And then the V-Carb of E-Dog restarting his lap. And next across the line will be Nick, who's invalidated. You've got the Red Bull in the background of Bear, who's starting his lap. Then you've got a Mercedes in reserve, this time charging. He's going to cross the line, and it's a 104.687, which puts him onto provisional pole. 5/10 quicker than the previous pole position holders. JJ is going to be, I believe, starting his lap. Next across the line looks to be TK. TK goes up into 2nd, narrowly slower, and then you've got the Sauber of Tide hoping to get a quicker lap time this time round. As then you've got Fuzzy, who has invalidated, and further behind you have not JJ. JJ's invalidated. That is Swiggy diving for the pits. Then you have a McLaren of C. He is narrowly improving, but definitely not going to put him up any positions as he crosses the line. 1.2 seconds of improvement. Still in 8th place, however. V-Carb, V-Dog. E-Dog crosses the line, jumps up to 4th, beating his teammate. As more and more drivers will be crossing the line, we're going to see much more movement in this table as Bear jumps up to 6th place. As JJ dives to the pits as he has not had a good first stint. Then you have the Ferrari. That Ferrari's TK, who'll be jumping for the pits as well. Then you have the Sauber Tide, He's going across the line, so we're watching Bar at the moment. Tide does not improve. Fuzzy's going slowly. He's giving up on his lap. Let's go C, also going slowly. He is enabling ERS, but he will be diving for the pits. No, he's not. He's going to go again. He slides past the final corner. Got Bar behind, ready to start lap. Then the Haas of the many doggos around down the straights. He jumps us at third, 4/10 behind reserve. But quicker than his teammates so far, as Oleg is still on his outlap. You've got Yummy back out, desperate to be his teammate. As currently 2/10 separate the two V-carbs. The Ferrari makes his way around the final corner. The man starts his lap. Let's see how he does. We have a full 20 driver grid today. So this is going to be definitely an eventful race to watch. Oleg's invalidated at turn 1. His teammate Doggo is, I don't know if he's going to go for another lap or is he just on a second in lap. We'll never know. I've also now recently become the Williams team principal, so I'm definitely going to be watching the Williams much more closely today, just in case I can catch out something for them. But Swiggy's up by nearly 2/10. Definitely going to put him into third. Let's go his teammate JJ up ahead. As the man goes into 10th. You've got Oleg coming around the final corner. He got his lap invalidated. Was that Doggo? Oh, that was Oleg. Speaking of Doggo, he's actually currently on the lap as he makes his way round the final corner. As Swiggy's going quicker, 3.5 quicker to be specific, as Doggo improves by 2/10. You've got JJ. He's going to start his main lap, but here comes his teammate Swiggy. He's going to cross the line, jumps up to second, and narrowly misses out on provisional pole position. It's a 104.7, 718. And then you got the two Alpines. As Devil goes up into 4th, and Nino is up into 8th. If you saw earlier, the Red Bull Sick has got a 5-place grid penalty after a collision. But TK jumps up to provisional pole with a 104.417. Good lap from him, as we're going to watch JJ cut his way through the next couple of corners. He slides through. He's going to try and get past this somewhat traffic. He's got Doggo up in front. He stays out. And around the final corner, JJ could grab a toe from him. But he's going to cross the line, jumps up to 7th with a 105.491. So you've got drivers starting lap times. You've got Fuzzy crossing the line, jumps up to 15th with a 107.915 as Nick goes up onto provisional pole. The Alpine team principal and league owner has gone into provisional pole. They 104.293. Oleg around the final corner. The Polish driver needs to improve, but that's the V-carb just cutting across, and that is Oleg's lap done and dusted. Will there be any place? Yeah, Bear But that's someone else. But Bear's been given a 5-place grid penalty. Surprisingly, no 5-place grid penalty for the V Cup. They're going the way of Oleg, but he's definitely going to go again. And that was, I believe, it was either E-Dog or Yummy. It was one of the two. The stewards are definitely going to have a look at that one. As Nick dives for the pits. He's currently on provisional pole, head of TK, Reserve, Swiggy, Devil, Doggo, E-Dog, Gnome, JJ, Yummy. That's your top 10 at the moment. Quickly have a look at Race Director. We've already been seeing 5-place grid penalties. We've got 3. We've got 1 for Sick, 1 for Yummy, 1 for Bear. So, and C's just been given 1 in the McLaren. As Oleg finally puts a lap in and is good enough for 9th in the Haas. Narrowly quicker than JJ, narrowly slower than Gnome. And that midfield is looking very close today. As Sick is on the main lap, he does have a 5-place grid penalty, so wherever he puts it, subtract 5 from that. And if he's below, if he's 16th or lower, he's starting in 20th, unless he improves out of that position in the future. We have about 4 or 5 minutes left to go. It would be nice if the Mercedes of Fuzzy could speed up. 5.5 minutes left to go here in qualifying. As Sick making his way through, nearly spins. Here, there at turn 6. Does he do the same at turn 7? No, he doesn't, but he is not invalidated, surprisingly. As Doggo has let an Alpine pass, and that Alpine was Nino. As around the final corner goes Sick. He's going to cross the line, and he jumps up to 13th with a 105.750. Next cross line will be Nino, who is currently down by 2 tenths. He's going to need to improve if he wants to sneak his way into the top 10. His teammate in the Alpine currently in provisional pole. So where will Nino go? Around the final corner, he's going now down the straight across the line. Does not improve and stays 12th. The Haas behind. Doggo starts his lap. Side also slowly arriving, and then you've got Riley as well. But then also you have the man who's invalidated, and then Sick, obviously, who's already put a lap on the board earlier with a I think it was a 107.750, 105.750, 106.750. Yeah, 106.750. Okay, I'm confident on that. Is the man going to go again? He's currently on the medium compound tyre. Interesting choice. As drivers are going to make their way out for their final stints. We have 3 minutes to go, and as you can see, many drivers making their way out of the pits and out of their garages. If we have a quick look at the drivers and constructors standings after our previous Grand Prix, you've got Dromo, who isn't here because he is a reserve I believe he's a reserve at least. Currently in first. Then you have TK in second, Faller in third, EDG Racer in fourth, JJ fifth, Oleg sixth, Rose seventh, and Doggo eighth. That's your top 8. Followed by the constructor standings, with currently Ferrari top with 50 points. That's being carried over by TK. Red Bull with 48. Racing Bulls with 38. Alpine with 34. Haas with 30. Williams with 28. Mercedes with 15. Sauber with 2. And then Aston Martin and McLaren yet to score points, both on 0. However, both Aston Martins currently in the top 10. So we could see them get their first points unless, obviously, mistakes and incidents come their way during the race. As E-Dog is going to start his lap. Got the V-carb up ahead in front of him. As who is next to cross the line? That's Nick, who is going to start his lap now. Currently on provisional pole, so he needs to put himself on the map here. As Oleg jumps up to 8th. Doggo jumps up to 3rd with a 104.419. The Aston Martin of Devil is going to start his lap. That wasn't Devil, that was Gnome. However, he does not improve. Got the Williams of JJ jumping up into 9th. Then you have the Mercedes of, I believe, Fuzzy, who is slower. And then you got the Ferrari. That is not the man, that is TK, who can't improve. This is probably going to be his main lap now. The man that starts his lap, and you've got V-Carb making his way. That is E-Dog. He's narrowly improving. Improves, but not his position. The Red Bull behind. That is Bear Funny, who does not improve. You got the Aston Martin of Devil. He's going to start his lap. Alpine. That's Alpine. Is Nino, who... Not Nino. That's his teammate Nick, who does not improve. What about Nick? Oleg currently in 8th. As who is next across the line? You've got Reserve, who's invalidated. So that's the maximum position he'll be getting. You've got Swiggy diving for the pits. And then you've got a Haas. Doggo, he'll be diving for the pits too. Ferrari, that's the man. He's narrowly improving. If he doesn't invalidate here, he might keep position, but he will improve on his lap. Crosses the line, stays in 17th. As you got the Red Bull of Bear Funny. He goes wide and validates sick. 13th, does improve. Got the Aston Martin of Devil. He was the furthest driver out on track. Crosses the line. And he goes 4th for the 104.523. And your pole position goes to league owner Nick Callum in the Alpine. His teammate Nino in 12th. As Doggo misses out on the front row by a singular thousandth. You've got Devil 4th, Reserve 5th, Swiggy 6th, E-Dog 7th, Oleg 8th, JJ 9th, Gnome 10th, Yummy 11th, Nino 12th, Sick 13th, Tide 14th, Bear Funny 15th, 16th was Bar, I think, and then it was it Bar? 17th was somebody. 18th was, I think, Riley. 19th, Fuzzy. 20th was C. I'm waiting. It says, please wait in the top corner. Oh, we're going straight to the race. We weren't even able to see the grid. That's just Brilliant. Oh, Lord. The heavens have opened here in the Austrian mountains, and we're in for a wet race. This is going to be fun. Expect a lot of drivers going wide in turns 1 and 3. Oh, this is going to be a jam-packed race. No formation lap. 5 red lights. Nick on pole. TK in second. And it's go, go, go for the first time here in Austria. And as everyone makes their way to turn 1, what are we going to expect? Drivers going wide. And we're already seeing what I've called as drivers have to cut across as they're forced wide. As what on earth is happening is the Aston Martin has gas to go off and makes contact. JJ's dropped down to 18th. As oh God! Baron not tied, Sick and Bar have had an incident, and there's also a bit more action as JJ has cut through that whole action. And like I said, it was going to be mayhem. This midfield is what we have to focus on here, ladies and gentlemen. This midfield. As you can see, drivers slide across like if it's Tokyo drifting, and they make their way through turns 7 and 8. The two Mercedes go side by side, and as around the outside, the reserve goes to overtake. It's another yellow flag. That's Devil. Well, this is just a brilliant first lap, isn't it? As reserve, Nino's been given a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I think he's been given some before. As you've got somebody going wide, and that's for reserve. He is definitely struggling. Most of these drivers do have a dry setup on, rather than a wet setup on. As, yeah, reserve is definitely struggling out there as he goes wide into the gravel. He is just tumbling down the order. As Nick further extends his lead, sets another fastest lap of this Grand Prix as we're on lap 3 out of 36. As seeing the man run each other wide, the man makes an illegal overtake. He's going to have to give the place back, I think, as C is just dropping. As Devil's been given a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. As making their way, nobody here looks like to be unsafe as TK is caught up to the back of Nick here. Down into turn 3 they go. JJ trying to catch back up to Sick. As the top 3 have stayed the same, Devil's had quite a bit of a fall in the Aston Martin. But his teammate's doing well in 6th. So, actually 5th as Edor goes wide. McLaren are the only team at the moment, seem to be the only ones yet to score points. As oh no, that's C losing grip. He goes off and Riley slips past. Experiment still goes side by side in the run down to turn 4. We could see someone going off as there's contact. However, nobody has died, and 5 laps in, and nobody's DNF'd, which is a surprising sight. Especially no safety car too. But I just know somebody's going to hit the inside wall at turn 10. As the many doggos sets the fast lap, a 1:15.851, as reserve has been given a 3-second penalty. Many drivers now going to get penalties just because of the way they're sliding through corners. As the 2 McLarens fight for 16th, got C and Riley. As C slides his way through. Surprisingly, none of the McLarens have gotten a penalty so far. I jinxed it. But at the moment, everyone is starting to split, so, you know. Obviously, with no DRS, it's going to be harder to see any moves happen. As Nick regains the first lap as reserve is sneaking in a move on his teammate. There's contact as Fuzzy gets forced wide. As here we still have a battle on our hands. As TK surprisingly takes the lead. Bear is going to get past Fuzzy. But anyway, Fuzzy outbrakes himself and goes wide. He stays in 8th. However, he's about to get overtaken. There's no contact between the two, and Bear will have 8th position. As Fuzzy's just forced Bear wide by using him as a brake. Very interesting driving options there from him. He's just forced Sick wide. As Six hit the barriers and luckily does not lose a tyre. As the two Rebels collide too. Better than an illegal overtake. C has been given a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. As Fuzzy's clearly struggling, but he's just not going to give it up, is he? As Fuzzy tries to brake check, and he goes wide into the gravel, and he's dropping back. Oleg slips through. As down the straight they go. Now the question is, when does this rain ever lift up? Is the question. As that is Bar. Who is off, he's struggling here. As we have a good fight for 9th here. JJ, Bear, Oleg and Fuzzy all scrapping out for 9th. Got another yellow flag, and that's Gnome! Is it? No, it's not. I don't know. I don't think it is. No, it's not. Okay. It is Devil. Okay, good. Because Gnome would have dropped quite a few car lengths back. Drivers already getting lapped? No way. It's only lap 11. I think the rain... Has the rain stopped? Yes, the rain has stopped. Drivers are into the pits. And now the question is, what happens here with strategy? Some drivers may skyrocket. Nick's in front of TK. Oh my word! Nick has beaten TK on pit stop. JJ stays in 12th here, for example. Bear's still in 11th. Fozzie drops to 10th. As Fozzie really locks up, it's the back of Oleg. And Oleg... Why is Fozzie on the inters? Fozzie's pit for the wrong tyre. I don't know if this is him trying to be a mathematical genius, but instead he's just barged Oleg off the track. Interesting choice there. Penalties wise, Jesus. As DRS is enabled, yeah, okay. As what the as Fozzie goes back into the pits. Nick and TK are fighting. Especially with this new thing called DRS. And oh no! TK's in the barriers! And here comes Doggo, catching back to Bar. As Bar's also hit TK off. Bar's hitting TK off. As oh no! Doggo goes into a wet area and loses third position. TK has lost an end plate. And Nick is trying his hardest to stick to the racing line. Because if he does the same thing that TK just did, it's not going to be good. As Devil's retired on circuit. You can see right behind. TK stays out, even with the broken end plate. As JJ gets his first penalty of the season, I think. So only 3 are left yet to get penalties. As we've got a bit of traffic here, ladies and gentlemen. As Gnome's gone wide. This could allow Doggo to try and find a move. And never mind, E-Dog's trying to get... It's the battle of the dogs. Making their way through turns 7 and 8 and down into turn 9. E-Dog, can he find a move on the many Doggos? Bar's been given a 10-second penalty for ignoring blue flags, and he's already on 16 seconds of penalties. As E-Dog is very much struggling for grip. As Reserve gets past Sick into turn 3. Sick is definitely ahead still on paper, but on track it is the Mercedes. As the clouds slowly start to part and the sun arises, TK has to watch out because Swiggy is right behind in the Williams. As Nick is going quicker. Reserve goes quicker. Swiggy finds a move on TK. TK, obviously, with the missing end plate, is going to be somewhat slower than the Williams. As Sig has been given his 3-second time penalty, and then there were 2 yet to get penalties. As Nick drives his way through blue flags. Making their way through turn 3 here. Sick is... I thought he was missing an end plate, but... He is, actually. Yeah, he is. Thought so. Which could explain his 3-second penalties. It is obviously harder to steer. So we have a yellow flag. It's McLaren going slowly of C. Riley, sorry. As you can see Riley up ahead, cutting across, who basically stops from circuit just to let Swiggy past. As Bear and JJ fight for ninth. These only 2. They were fighting for ninth before the rain ended and everyone died for the pits. And them 2 still together. As that's a V-carb and that's a virtual safety car. So that was Bar. So this fight is at the moment on pause. TK this time goes to the pits. So does reserve. Many are. As we're back underway here in Austria once more. TK comes out in the splits between Bear and JJ. We've also got Togo shortly behind. Got a good fight on our hands. As Bar has retired, and it's another virtual safety car. Don't tell me he's hit the inside curb. I said it. I said someone would. He did. He hit the inside. I said someone will, and somebody did. We're going to get back underway once again, eventually. Nick is just driving around thinking to himself, what's going on behind me? You know, he's just relaxing. His Bear has been given a driver penalty. Oh dear. As JJ, can he make the move down the inside into turn 4? He has the inside line. He's ahead of the apex. Can he get past the Red Bull? The Red Bull does have 3 seconds of penalties. What is the Red Bull doing? as Fuzzy's crashed at turn 2, and through goes JJ, up into 7th. As Bear is now dropping back massively, as Dogo's looking to make a move. Bear's just, you know, been slammed off because, you know, Bear needs to get into the pits. Dogo stays out, even though he has a drive penalty as C is retired on track. Surprisingly, no safety car. I don't know how that's happened. As Reserve makes a diabolical send and drops down. Obviously, JJ didn't see him coming. And obviously, Reserve outbroke himself and clipped the back of him. TK, can he find a move? He sets the fastest lap. He's got the pace. But E-Dog holds him off. You can see in the background JJ and Doggo. See, Doggo has a drive-through penalty. So, who on earth is TTV Hardy? That's TK raring to make a move here on E-Dog. As Doggo dives for the pits for a drive-through stop. He's going to come out. I don't know if he's going to be behind or in front of Bear. TK down the inside, there's contact between the two. Does TK get ahead? There's contact once again. But TK is up into 5th. So, E-Dog and TK are still fighting. TK obviously doesn't have the penalty that E-Dog has, but TK has a bit of snap. TK with the DRS now. Can he reel himself back into 5th? As TK hits E-Dog into the side and drifts past. TK, Nick is in the pits as well. TK's just let go of his steering wheel clearly there. Now it is the time starting to come for pit stops once again. Who is TTV Hardy? As TK is going to go down the inside on E-Dog for fourth. They're still side by side, and E-Dog holds him off. As JJ comes out right behind Gnome here. As Swiggy's in the pits now. Got another yellow flag here. It's another more traffic as TK could find the move here. Khan is... There's a missing front wing, I think. For the McLaren of Riley. He's still going for some reason. As JJ's in the pits. Now these mediums are definitely not going to go to the end as Riley has retired. It's a full course safety car. It's such a perfect moment for JJ to pit. And he does not lose as badly as some people would think he would. As Nick dives for the pits. This race has gone a lot more interesting. 10 laps to go here in Austria. So what's going on here? What's going on here? There's contact between Reserve and Doggo. As once again contact, we could see penalty being dished out here. Reserve stays out on his 7-lap-old hards. I think he regrets that. He will. As JJ comes back out in front of Doggo. So this race has got a lot more interesting. Once again. But, oh, Nick has got a penalty. So it's only TK, who's the only driver who hasn't got a penalty yet. As Nino splits the Alpine in his teammate Nick and Swiggy. The man has elected to go to softs. as every single driver except for TK is yet to get a penalty. Actually, let's quickly look through the race director, which is literally glitched. It's glitched. There's been so many warnings that it's glitched. How can there be this many penalties and warnings that the game is glitched? Oh my, it's hurting my eyes. I'm just trying to see if TK has a warning or not. It doesn't even look like he does. He does. He has one. There's one. He has one warning. My game is glitched. What the f- So, guys, my whole game's glitched. I'll just try to check race direct and the whole game's glitched. I'm spamming the back button. It's not working. I'm scared here. We're gonna have to watch this full race from TK's POV. Please no. I'm trying everything because we're about to get back underway. Oh my lord. The game's glitched. I just wanted to see if TK got a warning, bro. We're back underway. No button is working. I don't know what's going on behind me. Kick salva's dropping back because somebody's running away. Okay, let's watch this race from TK's POV because the game's glitched. As he's already car across the corner, he's done a legal overtake. He hasn't. Yeah, this game. What is this game? What is this game? If I try to restart the game, will the stream end? Me too. It's a whole lot of nothing, to be honest. Oh, Jesus. If I end the game, will the stream end? Because that's the only. When the race ends, will I be stuck on this screen still? Because no button is working. Except for the menu button.